Fashion Dolls. It is Transformation Tuesday, February 13th, and welcome to an all-new episode of Style by Stevie. Our very special guest today is a voiceover artist, and he hails all the way from Rushville, Illinois. Without further ado, I had to restart my live all over. Hopefully it will work this time, fingers crossed, so that I'll be able to see Steven, and you guys will as well too. All right? So without further ado, let me go ahead and add our very special guest, Steven, back. I had to uninstall and reinstall him, but I just couldn't hear him. I could hear him, but I just couldn't see him. There we are.
Well, hi,
Welcome. Welcome.
Stevie. How are you?
I am doing wonderful. Welcome to the dollhouse.
Well, thank you for having me.
It is such a pleasure to have you here. So before we get into this conversation, how has 2024 been for you so far this year?
2024 has been amazing. It's been the most crazy that I can possibly imagine. Having all you guys out there as friends and family, it's been phenomenal. It really has. It's with your style, with Mickey's grace and artistic artistry. I mean, I couldn't ask for more. I mean, it's been an amazing journey so far. And with you guys pushing and keeping me on my toes, it's been amazing.
Yes. And me and Mick, when Mick asked me to be a part of this publication, I had no idea what she wanted me to do, but she just told me to be original and bring my own style and flair to it. And it's worked perfectly. It's like a match made in heaven.
I'm
So,
telling you,
well,
that's how I feel too. It's just been amazing. It's crazy.
and you had a terrific journey. Now, you are from Rushville. You were born in Rushville, Illinois. So tell us about that, your upbringing, growing up into doing voiceover work, because you've done so many things throughout your career.
Yeah, it's been crazy. Where I'm from, it's I grew up in a small town, but my family was from the city, California and Chicago. So my family raised us up in the country, but we have the city life too. So my upbringing was really different than most, I would say, because I was raised in the city, but I was raised in. So I have a cultural diversity to myself. I like to think anyway. So I'm very blessed. I really am. And when it comes to voice acting, I totally came across this totally by accident. I was just goofing.
Really?
I was goofing off one day to a friend of mine that's he was a speed painter on America's Got Talent, and he was like, you have talent. He's like, I'm repped as the same agent as Steve Whitmire who does Kermit the Frog. I was like, that's amazing because I do Kermit the Frog out of my many hundreds of voices I do. Kermit the Frog, I just wanted to say hi. Um, oh, Kermit. Animal love Kermit. Um, so yeah, it's crazy. I totally fell into it by accident. He's like, what you call shenanigans, I call it a career. I'm like, you know what? There might be some sound advice to that. So I looked into voices online and I ran across different people I met and admired. And sure enough, they took me under their wing as mentors. Um, like Jim Meskimen for one. If you know, his mother's Marion Ross on Happy Days.
Yes.
Jim does the current Colonel Sanders for KFC. Colonel Sanders here. Just want to see if you want to try my $20 fill up.
Yep.
You know, so yeah, it's been a crazy experience with all these different voice actors and friends of mine now. They're just pushing me into all these different areas. But to get back to where I'm from and everything, I totally got off topic there, which I do a lot. Yeah, I'm very blessed. I'm just trying to make it to the big time, and bring all my friends with me and be supportive and just stay humble.
Now, you've been doing this for many years. Now, at what age did you say, okay, voiceover artistry is something that I want to do? This is something that I'm passionate about. You've been knowing this since a child. At what age did you would say this is something that you wanted to
You know,
do?
it wasn't until recently, I would say probably about probably 8 to 10 years ago is when I took it serious. Hi, fitness. I hope you're doing well. Um,
Okay.
yeah, it was about 8 to 10 years ago. I just kind of fell into it totally by accident. And I just kind of just ran with it. I'm good at it.
Ellen is here. Hey, Ellen, and we did our
Hey,
interview
Ellen.
last week.
As you
So,
can tell, I've got Mickey's magazine up on the computer there.
yes. And she's here. Speak of the double, she's here. Hey, Meg.
Hi, Mick.
We see you
And
all.
here's my wall behind me of friends that have graciously signed autographs for me. As you can tell, there's a familiar face up there, Mr. Mark Denham.
Yes. Had him on the show.
Yeah, I got Mark. I've got my idol was actually Kevin Conroy, who did Batman for several years. As you can tell, my favorite.
And Mark is here. He just came in. Speak of
Hey,
the
Mark.
double.
We should get Mark on the live.
Hi, brother. Hey, K2.
Hey,
Shout out
guys.
to my brother K2.
Yeah, we're just hanging out today. Me and Stevie, we're just having a good time.
Now, another thing people don't know about you is you also joined the Army. So tell us a little bit about
I
that.
did. I did. I was in the Army for 6 years. I did communications, which is funny because that's what I do now. I talk on radio or do voices, so it's kind of familiar with what I'm used to. So I was in Fort Hood, Texas. I was in the Army. I was overseas in 2004. I was in Iraq. I was in Baghdad when the war was going on. Um,
Wow.
I came home and I it just made me reflect on everything that I didn't want to take advantage of, you know. So you got to just enjoy life, every part of it, even if it's bad or good. You just got to roll with it. And oh, thanks for watching, Mark. While you're on the train,
And
Mr.
go ahead. I'm sorry.
Mark is actually one of my best friends.
How does it feel to have Mark, who's an amazing filmmaker, award-winning filmmaker, back you, support you 100%, that friendship, that longevity? How does it feel?
He is so diverse. I have to give props out to Mark Denham. He is one. I can't put into words how diverse he is. Writer, director, producer, actor, musician, you know, martial artist. I mean, he's got all these belts, and I admire Mark so much. He's been a big inspiration. He's actually one of them that keeps kicking me in the butt, telling me to keep moving on, keep going forward, because he knows my potential. And there's days where I kind of forget my potential. So Mark's been so uplifting and positive. He's like, if I make it, you're making it. So I tell him the same thing. If I make it, you're coming with me.
And it's amazing to have people like that backing you, supporting you
Oh, yeah,
100%,
absolutely.
encouraging you along the way. And he says, thanks, brother.
Did I tell you how beautiful you look today, Miss Stevie? You
Thank
look
you.
very
Thank you.
beautiful today.
And I appreciate it. It takes a village. That's why I had to make sure that I was on point for this interview with you. Just like last time. Thank you guys so much for liking the look
Oh,
that I when I did my interview with Mick, the
I love your
denim.
style.
Thank
I
you.
think you have. I think it's so beautiful that the style you create and come up with. I think that's amazing. And what you
Thank you,
contribute
brother.
to Original Magazine is beyond words.
Y'all had me tearing up Friday. Don't do it today. Y'all
Just
had
like
me tearing
Mickey
up
and
Friday.
Mark and Kate Took says you do look great, sister.
It um I don't know where the style comes from. I just randomly, it took me about 5 minutes to find something to wear today. I
Really?
just found something randomly.
I just think
Yeah.
that's so
And
amazing how you just come up with something really quick and you look beautiful today.
I read a lot of fashion magazines like Vogue and Harper's Bazaar, and of course our
Oh,
publication. And
absolutely.
British Vogue is another one that I read too. So I pull inspiration from so many things, and that's how I came up with something just in that 5 minutes. That 5 minutes, I said, okay, we got to do this interview today. What are you gonna wear? Because you've worn all of your prints and denims and latex. And when this season first started off, I said I wanted to go with more holographic, more purples, more bright colors, more things that were shining. Whereas before last season, it was very monochromatic. It was blacks. You might have seen green. You might have seen blue. This season is even more colorful.
Well, that's good. I'm
So
glad to hear that you're so artistically. You are so talented. Do you would you have any advice for any guys out there that might lack style? For instance, like me, when I look at you, I think of you have so much artistic beauty that I can't even compare. And would you have any advice for us guys out here to help us have style at all?
Ellen says you both are awesome and stunning, Miss Stevie. And what advice would I give to men that are trying to step up their style game?
Absolutely, because I would
Confidence.
love to hear your advice.
I would say confidence is key. So going into whatever you are putting on throughout the day is all about confidence. You walk into the room, you own the room. And it took me overnight. It takes a while for you to build up your own personal style. And for me, I had to find out what works for me. Thank God for my mom and my family supporting me and allowing us to find our own creative niche and our own style and personality according to our personality.
Well,
So I'm
tell your mother
thankful
we
for
said
that.
thank you for letting her lovely, beautiful daughter hang out with us today.
I surely will. I surely will. She left, and I will let her know after the show. But what advice would I give to men who are trying to update their style? Go for it. Go for the gusto. For me, I like to take risks, and I do it fearlessly. I do it so fearlessly. I just don't care if they say you can't wear this, you can't wear that. I go for it. I don't care. Taking risks is the biggest key step in fashion. You got to step outside of your comfort zone and do what works for you. And what works for me is couture fashion. I love lots of color. I love lots of ruffles. I love, like I'm doing today, cold shoulder. I like things that stand out. I don't like to be like everybody else.
Right.
And
No, I get
that's
that.
what personal style is, finding your own niche that works for you and daring to be different. Be unafraid when it comes to style because it's not easy for a lot of people. A lot of people are just like, "Ooh, I don't want to wear that. That's too bright." But what might work for me might not work for the next person. It just takes time, and it's not just going to happen just like that in a day, but it's going
Right.
to take
Right.
time. Gradually, you find things that you want to try out, and then you try it out. It's just like, okay, I see a lot of men are starting to do different things with their beards, color their beards and things like that. They'll have it one color one day and they might put tinsels and gold and all sorts of things in their beard. So just find out what works for you. And if it doesn't work for you, don't try it. Stick to what you would normally do. But it just takes time. Over time, you gradually build up your style and own personal style. And that's how you do it. And Mark
Absolutely.
said, my connection is going slow. You would think first class would have better connection. You do look lovely today, Stevie. Catch y'all later. Thank
Bye,
you, Mark.
Mark. Be safe on
And,
your travels.
and yeah, that's what advice that I would give to men that are looking to step out on faith as it pertains to style. But men's fashion trends are changing on a daily. Like right now, New York Fashion Week is going on, and we've seen a plethora of designers, new and old, familiar faces like Christian Siriano, Sergio Hudson just had his show. So a lot of designers are starting to go along with different trends. They're not all going to be the same. So definitely. And don't be afraid to pick
Well,
up a magazine. Do it the old fashioned way.
well, absolutely.
There's so
I'm the
many.
type of guy that wears shorts everywhere, shorts and flip flops, because I love to relax and just have fun. Because most of the time, people don't see me because I'm behind the mic, so I just comfortable. But yet, there's a point of where I come to where it's just like, okay, well, I wear it every day, you know. So that's why I'm trying to find style, so that way I can at least be vibrant. So when people see me out and about, they'll be like, okay, well, Steve must be hanging out with Stevie because he's got style.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And the thing about it is, I'm about comfort too. I don't go out looking like this on a daily, you guys. When I'm home and I'm not doing Style by Stevie or an interview, you will 9 times see me out in uh, a onesie or some shorts or a crop
Right.
top or
That's
something to that extent. I'm relaxed when I'm home.
absolutely. It's
So
about comfort.
yes, when you're going out, it's a whole different story. At least my hair is my accessory, so my hair is always on point. But other than that, as far as getting all glammed up and going out, that's different. If somebody asked me to go to a family event or something, then yes, I would get all glammed up and I would do the
Right.
most, as
Okay.
I said in my previous interviews before. But other than that, this is for Style by Stevie, but when I'm home in my downtime and I'm relaxing on a day off, you will catch me in a romper and or a onesie or some sort. I'm very relaxed and I'm confident. So fashion is also about comfort as well too. I remember one time I wore something on the show, and I think it was K2 or Island Yankee. One of them pointed out because I was not feeling my best when I did that interview, and it was like a leather dress, similar to the one that I'm wearing today, but this one has a lot of floral print on it, as you can see.
It looks beautiful.
This one was leather, and I was not comfortable. I tried to smile and look as pretty because with women, we have to try to look as pretty and as happy as possible and suffer through it. Beauty is pain. So I struggled through that interview, but I said, "Whew." When I got done, that dress came off and it was on the floor. I
Oh
said,
yeah,
never again. I want to be comfortable. I was not feeling my best that day because I wore the dress previously, and I said, why would I not? Why would I wear the dress again if I'm not feeling that well? I said, okay, another fashion moment because I wanted to do something with the hair color trend. That's why I wore the dress. But I was not feeling so hot that day. But I would never do it again. If I'm not feeling my best, I won't wear something that I know I can't be able to move around in. I want to be
right,
able to
right.
move around in something. And there have been gowns where it's just like that I've worn on the show where it's just like you're constricted in the gown. You're hugged up, you're pushed up, you're having people tug and zip and squeeze and yeah, that's what we
I
go
can
through behind the scenes, and this is
understand that.
the results. So yeah,
Well, I'm so glad that you had me on today, Stevie. Thank you so much for that.
you are so welcome. It is a pleasure to have you on. And one more thing people don't know about you is that you attended the university. You attended NC University and you majored in psychology as well too. So tell us a little bit about
I
that.
did. I was actually going to become a counselor. I was wanting to help
Mm,
people. So I went to college to become a counselor, and then I fell into voice acting kind of in the midst of it all. And so I just kind of ran with voice acting, even though I can help people on the side. I don't have to use my degree because I feel like I have a altruistic nature where I just love to help people without question.
I love what you just said, which is I didn't need to do that because you know what? You didn't need to complete psychology because laughter is the best medicine. You are healing people with your voiceover. And that's what Mick was saying the last time we did our interview. You made me laugh and giggle when you did your Kermit voiceover. And that's what it takes. Laughter is the best medicine to heal and help people.
Yeah, you'll find me doing just odds and ends voices all the time. Oh boy, here's an old favorite pal, old Steve with style. Oh gosh. Ugh. So yeah, I try to use comedy for everything, regardless, because I think laughter is just like kind of a Patch Adams kind of thing. I love to help people heal through just laughter in general.
Yes. And that's what we need in such chaotic and dark times right now is laughter.
Absolutely.
So what have the responses been from people? Do you get messages from people saying, thank you, you made me smile, you made me laugh
I
again?
I don't know about messages per se, but mostly it's just the I love to see people laugh. If I can
Yeah.
get somebody to laugh, that just makes me feel so beautiful inside.
And it's a great feeling knowing that you bring happiness to people, that you bring I hacked into someone's Wi-Fi so I could rejoin. Welcome back, Mark.
Hey, Mark, my I'm very blessed because if it wasn't for my children are my world. They're
Yeah.
the one thing that keep me going, feeling positive and so much love every day. Um, I, I I couldn't imagine my life without them. You know, that's what gives me the strength to give people happiness and joy. I try, at least I try.
And I'm pretty sure people are seeing the impact just watching and listening to your voiceovers and they laugh. Laughter is the best medicine. And when you laugh, I read that you release endorphins.
Yeah,
So it's a great thing. You need it. Laughter keeps you living longer and it's a great part of life. Just moments. I know for me, I was laughing early. I was not feeling too hot and I announced it before we came on in the interview. But I said, you know what? I'm gonna push through. I'm gonna fight through this. And laughter is the best medicine. I could be sick and I still will try to crack a joke with my mom. My mom will be like, okay, be serious, because she told me earlier. But I said, this is me. This is me. This is who I am. I might not be feeling my best, but I just want you to let you know that, hey, what you see is what you get, and I'm gonna be happy regardless.
Absolutely. So when you'll see me feeling down, I'll just go in the kitchen. I'll make me some chocolate milk and sit down with some chocolate cookies and just try to eat my sorrows away.
Now, in 2000, you were stationed in Germany. Tell us about that, your experience in Germany.
I was in Kaiserslautern, Germany. I was there rebuilding a lot of different starters and engines and stuff like that. So originally I was supposed to do communications and all that, but since they ran short, they activated our unit and they sent us to Germany. So I got to experience the German culture and the beautiful, I mean, just the architecture, the cobblestone roads, the culture. I mean, the people were just so wonderful, and it was so beautiful out there.
I mean, you have a list of accolades. You've completed your associate's degree in science at John Wood Community College in Quincy, Illinois. So tell us about that experience.
Yeah, I let's go back a little bit.
Yes.
Before I went to college, after I got out of the military, I decided to go to college. So in 2008, I graduated with an associate's, and then I became a father. So I had to take a step back from my college, and I wanted to focus on being more of a father. So I wanted to make sure my priorities were on my children and made sure they came first, and they always do, regardless of what I do. So yeah,
Look at the love you're getting in the comments from Mark and Mick. Mick says, Stephen Ham, I love how many voices he can make. He is amazing. And Mark says, your voices are awesome.
thanks, buddy. You should hear Mark's voices. He has me he has me rolling all the time. Mark is seriously a voice actor himself, but he will not admit it. But he can do so many voices that I can't even attempt to do. I am so jealous of Mark. He has me laughing so hard I'm crying.
I have to bring him back on the show because he was a little, when we did our first interview, he was a little nervous and I had to get him out of his shell a little bit.
Yeah,
And
you
so when
should
he
because
comes back,
Mark is
I have to get him
phenomenal
again.
with voices. He'll have you just rolling.
Another thing, you received the National Defense Medal and the Army Achievement Medal twice. So I mean, all of these accolades, but I love what you just said, which is the same thing for me. Family comes first, and that's a
Absolutely.
priority. Me and my mom was just talking not too long ago. She said your health and family comes first over anything that you do. So make sure that you are taking care of yourself. And I love that you said my children are my priority. My family is my priority. So, how important is it for people to balance both out for family and then your career?
It's absolutely crucial because there's a point where I didn't exactly balance them out correctly. I put one over the other, and that's what makes me really adamant about children, about putting your children first, your family first. Because I did make mistakes in the past, and I'm trying to rectify them. But I always want to make sure my children know that I will always be there. I'm divorced. So my children live with their mother, and God bless her. I mean, she's a wonderful mother, but we just didn't see eye to eye. You know, I was trying to go for a voice acting career. We just didn't see eye to eye, but my children know that I love them and they know that I'll do anything for them. So I'm very blessed. And if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't keep going with my voice acting.
And I know they are loving you and supporting on you and your journey. Have you done voiceovers for them? Because I know children when they're babies they cry a lot. I have a nephew now, so I told you guys already know, and he has his picks of who he wants to pick him up and who he doesn't want to pick him up. One day he wants to go to mama, one day he want to go to daddy. And my brother, who's his father, he's gotten attached and hooked to him. Like I remember we did a FaceTime call. We had a family FaceTime call, and they're in another part of town. We're down here in the Carolinas. Um, he called down here. We called down here. Well, his girlfriend, the baby mom, called down here, and she had him sitting up in the camera. He's looking so adorable, and then he just turned and he looked at my brother. I said, "Yep, same face and all. This is how my face is because me and my brother have the same face. It's crazy because my nephew has the same face that my brother has. So it's like, I guess we could say triplets, but it's completely different. But he turned and he looked at his daddy. So his mama was holding him, but he turned and looked at his daddy. That's all he did. But he was smiling. So they have their pics. For
Yeah,
you, for your kids growing up, did you do voiceover for them as well too?
I do. I do a lot of Mickey Mouse. My children love Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, so I do Mickey. One of my friends actually does. Two of my friends are actually in Disney that do voices that you hear on a regular basis. Daniel Ross, who does Donald Duck, and then Caitlin
Yeah.
Robrock, who does Minnie Mouse. I get to talk to them. I get to talk to a whole bunch of people that work in the industry, and just so amazing because I'm so flabbergasted that they're actually talking to me and actually putting me on their same level, which I never thought I would ever even attempt to even be, on the same level as them because I look up to them so much. I get starstruck still.
Yes, and that was when was your pinch me moment? When did you realize, like, wow, I can't believe this is reality for me from doing your voiceover work? Because I've listed all of your accolades and I could go on, it's still more.
Yeah,
But
there's a
when
lot
was
more.
your pinch me moment where you said, okay, this is real for me?
Oh, it was real about 2 years ago when I was in Hollywood. I got to be on the red carpet. I was it was surreal. I, I got to be in the parade with a whole bunch of actors and voiceover artists and so many people that had so many talents. I was just, how am I here with these guys? Um, yeah, it just blows me away. Yeah, I can't even put it into words.
Big shout outs to Jay Evans. Make sure you guys go and subscribe to his channel. If you guys like all things reality TV, Real Housewives of Potomac, Atlanta Housewives, Married to Medicine, and celebrity interviews, please make sure you head on over and subscribe to my brothers K Toops and Jay Evans. Go and check
Okay.
them out. And shout outs to Nate, Fired by Nate LLC, for swinging through. Make sure you guys go and check out his clothing brand as well too. It is New York Fashion Week, and he just did New York Fashion Week not too long ago, last year. So make sure you guys go and check it out. I'm going to read some comments. Ellen says next movie has to have both Mark and Steven in doing voices. And
I think that'd be amazing.
Mark says, I've done stand-up comedy since Stevie, so I'll be more confident in the next interview. Right.
Yeah, what's funny is that Mark, I keep telling Mark, I think we need to do a movie together. I think it would be hilarious because when you don't see behind the scenes of Mark, he is so funny. When he does the stand up, his humor and his actions and the way he does it is so hilarious that I can't even put it into words because I can't copy his. He has this aura that just brings out the best of people. So I just can't get enough of hanging out with Mark because he brings out the best in everybody. It seems.
What is some of the best advice, since we're talking Mark, what is some of the best advice that Mark has given you throughout your career or things that you've given him along the way as well too? Because he's dynamic. I remember interviewing him and I'm just like, oh no, you don't have to be nervous.
There,
When we did our
there's
first interview, he was a little
yeah. It says
nervous.
to my best friend Steve. That's when Mark was in the Pentaveret on Netflix with Mike Myers, and honestly, Mark keeps giving me advice constantly. So I can't really put into words. I can't pinpoint a certain time because he's always giving me advice about what I need to do next. How to stay positive, how to stay motivated.
Yeah.
So just like Mickey, she keeps kicking me in the butt along with Mark too. So they're my go-to for everything. If I have problems, if I need advice, um, so they're my go-to. They're my family.
Mick says we need to make a movie with all friends, Ellen, Stephen, Mark, and Miss Stevie as well.
I think so too. I think we need to make a funny comedy That way, just get people to laugh and just be like, you know what? Today's been bad, but today's going to be great because we have friends. We have so much to love. So,
I think so too. My first acting debut was in a horror film that I did back in 2021. And I played a college professor, and it was a little bit out of my experience because I had no acting background, took no acting workshops or anything. But when I went in to did the table read, I executed it perfectly.
that's
And
amazing.
it showed up right on screen. No acting experience. And this is my very first time doing this. This is pre around the time the pandemic hit, so everything was
Right,
virtually. And I
right. I
did
get that.
the table read with the cast, and one take. That was all it took. One take.
I bet you were overwhelmed. I can
I, it
imagine.
it shocked me, and I told my mom. My mom went back and watched, and she's like, "Oh my God, I'm so proud of you." No acting experience.
That's amazing. I want to see that now.
Yes, it's called The Assistant 2, and you guys can check it out on it's on YouTube, and I'm pretty sure it's on Amazon Prime as well.
I
And
definitely want to
Ellen
see that.
says, sweet, awesome. Horror is so much fun to film. Yes, this project was a little bit out of my element, and what's so crazy is I got the role on my birthday. And the director, he asked me, he said, okay, do you want to star in the film? I said, I don't, I'm not an actor. I'm just a talk show hostess. Host this platform or whatever. And going in with no experience, I had no idea what I was getting myself into, but I had a great time. I had a great time, and I did everything, nailed it, executed it. I had so much fun playing this role because it was a little bit of my personality in there. But the character, she was very mature. So he didn't want me to look like one of the how can I say it? One of the kids, one of the students. He
Oh
wanted me
yeah,
to
yeah,
look more
yeah.
like a
Right.
college
Yeah, I can
professor.
get. I understand that because you have
So
to
he
have that
wanted me to,
persona because you have to be above them. You're teaching them, so therefore you have to have this empowerment, which
and it
I
was
see
so
in
much
you
fun.
right now. I see this beautiful empowerment and confidence of a and it's capturing me because it's like I want some of that to come into me. It's just like it's so captivating. But give me some of your confidence, some of your empowering words of wisdom.
Well, every morning when I get up, I do a ritual. I say a prayer and I do my morning affirmations. And one of my affirmations is I
Mark,
surround myself with people who uplift me with confidence. And I know my mom always reassures me. It is great. Like Mark has been a big influence in your life. My mom has been an influence in my
God
life. And
bless her.
so many others, all of you have been an influence in my life, but mainly my mom. I give credit to her because she birthed a goddess. I must say that.
I think you're just a wonderful host. I really do. I think you have this just natural persona with people. I think it's just a natural gift. Mark,
And
Ellen, I mean, Mickey. There's so many people I want to say hi to, but like Ellen, she's wonderful behind the film. With Mark and her did Toy Box Killers and a whole bunch of others. Ellen just has this natural beauty to her too that I've
oh
seen
yeah,
with that photo shoot she did. She looks so captivating in those stills.
I call Ellen our Silkstone Barbie because if you guys have seen a Silkstone Barbie,
Oh my
beautiful
god.
porcelain face, if you've seen if you have not seen a picture of it, you need to stop what you're doing and go Google one right now. It is a very beautiful doll because how traditional Barbie dolls have the regular
I
face,
love
this one has more so
I
like
love how she captured the
yes.
1950s, the black and white look. It was just so it was awesome, Alan. I really loved it.
And she said she did the photo shoot in the snow, which I know must, again, beauty is pain. In order to get a beautiful photo shoot, you have to suffer through it sometimes.
Oh
The
yeah.
shoes might be too small or too big, or something might go wrong. You still have to make it work. And even with me doing these interviews, you won't know that I'm sick or whatever. I still have to look beautiful, come on, smile, do the interview. And then when I'm off, I pay for it later. I suffer, but I said it paid off because that interview was amazing. And me, I just have the passion to keep going. That's what keeps me going.
You're
Am
very welcome, Stevie and Alan. I think you both are just tremendous. Because
in
I
this
mean, I
piece.
look at I look at people in an artistic manner. Everybody has their quirks, and they have their artistic
Oh yeah.
abilities that I can't match. I find it intriguing because I'm like, how do you do style? How do you do those photos, Ellen? How does Mark do this? How does Mickey do that? And just like it's always just I always admire things, even regardless if I. It's just a admiration. I don't know. I can't put it into words. It's just I'm in awe.
And it's about passion, it's about drive. And you guys have heard me say this here on the platform before as well too, which is live life through fire. Step out on dare, step out on faith, and do things that you wouldn't normally do. And for me, I surround myself with people who encourage me and keep me uplifted to keep going and doing what I need to do. And not only that, but I sit back after a show and I think, I reflect, I write in my journal, and I pull inspiration from different things. I'm always in a book. I've
Yeah,
always
same
been
here.
that way since I was 8 years old. Always in a book, always reading, always pulling inspiration from some sort of, or watching films. Like when me and Ellen did our interview, we talked about black and white because
I
I'm a big
do too. I
yellow
love the
nerd.
black and white films because they have that just I don't know. It's hard to put into words because it's got its own what's the word I'm looking for? It's got its own elements because it's so different than today on how people talk and dress and interact with one another, and it's so bizarre in a way, but yet it's so intriguing. I would
And
love to listen to Mickey Mouse. Oh, Mickey commented, "Oh, boy,
yep.
our own favorite pie. Oh, Mickey's toy. Oh, boy." Well, gosh.
And Ellen says, you have it, you can do it.
I think all you guys have it and are doing it now. So I think we're pretty lucky to be even communicating today because I look at everybody like family. So we definitely need to get together and do something, I think. But that's just me
Yes.
because I can see the talent, the humor. I can just see it, just something crazy is going to come out of it, and it's just going to be so beautiful.
And, and fun. Mick, I told her when we did our interview Friday last week, I said, you created a gumbo. You know that because you have so many different spices, so many
Yeah,
different recipes
there you
into
go.
this
That's a good way
gumbo.
to look at it.
Yeah. And people come from different walks of life, people from different continents of the world. Everybody's in different places. Some people are in Sweden, some people are in Greece, some people are all over. Like we're all over and we all have different personalities and something to bring to this
Oh
publication.
yeah,
So a gumbo is
absolutely. I just want to give a shout out to you, Mickey, because you are so amazing and beautiful and wonderful. And if it wasn't for you, all of us wouldn't be connected. Well, me and Mark would be because we're goofballs together. We're like brothers. But I just want to give everybody a shout out with love and care. I love all you guys.
and we love you too. And that's Mick created a gym. When she first reached out to me, I'll never forget the day she reached out to me. And I think it was through a mutual friend. One of us had mutual friends, and she reached out to me and she asked me if you wanted to be a part of the publication. And she said, we're looking for a fashion writer. And then Andrea came along and is doing the health and beauty. And I said, okay, I'd love to do this because I have written before for another publication.
Gotcha,
So I said, you know what,
gotcha.
let's do something different this
You
time.
know, Mickey actually sent me the magazine from Spain. So I actually have the original magazine in my hand right here.
See, there it is.
So I just find it so cool because I never thought in a million years that I'd be anywhere near where we are today.
And it's amazing to be a part of this publication because everybody we're checking in the group chat, we're chiming in every day. It's like a few minutes. I said, okay, we're going on with Stephen in a few minutes, and everybody rushed right on over. Then we had that technical difficulties, and I came right
Well, I
back
think that was
in
my
with
fault because I'm not technologically advanced, and I'm like, yeah, I know what I'm doing, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh no, maybe I don't. It's like I thought you were smart there, Steve. But like, okay, well, I'm not.
well, you're here now. So, do we have any other questions? Now, we could go through your list of accolades because you've done so much throughout your career. I mean, from the military, uh, Sig, you worked as Signum Support System Specialist, a heavy wheel mechanic, and generator repair. So, I mean,
Those
you've
were
done so much.
what I wanted to do. What I wanted to do was my commo. That was communications. So signal support. That's just a long fancy word for saying he just talks a lot on the radio. So, um, but yeah, the other two I really didn't want to do. I was kind of forced to do, but I'm like, I'm game for whatever. So if you want to put me in there because I'm multi-diverse, I guess I'll do anything you want me to. But we're up to 6 viewers so far. We're getting
Yes,
there.
it's a live fashion dolls. And this replay will be up so you guys can catch it on Style by Stevie Daytime on YouTube. Make sure you guys subscribe and hit that bell. And the replay will be up here on the gram as well, too, so that you guys can go back and catch the replay. But you've also attended Western Illinois University and North Central University with your bachelor's in psychology in 2015.
Right.
So
I was also taking theater classes. I was in acting classes. So eh, if I could do it over, I would probably go into theater.
dramatic arts, that is the
Absolutely.
best.
I would love to go. And a part of me also is kind of torn because I wish I would have became a doctor too, because I love to help people.
Well,
So
well, in my opinion, you are a doctor in a way with you doing voiceover artistry and making us laugh. Laughter is a medicine. So comedians somewhat are like medicine to people. You
yeah,
are giving a service to people. You're making people feel happy.
you know it's funny you say that because Mark actually pointed out. He's like, "Why can't you be the Patch Adams of voice acting?" I'm like, you know what? That's kind of cool that you say that because I feel the same way.
I agree. I second that. I second that because you guys are bringing healing to people through laughter in such chaotic and dark times that we're having with everything that's going on in the world.
Right, right.
Laughter is what we need right now. It's the best medicine.
I totally agree.
So, do we have any questions for myself or Stephen, Fashion Dolls?
Go follow Stevie, Miss Stevie. Her style is genuine and very artistically true. So if you need to follow Miss Stevie.
And the same here. Follow Stephen. This is one of my favorite interviews thus far this season. I've had so much fun this season. The season has just been a success, and
Well, thank you.
you guys have been so supportive. So thank you all for tuning in. And
Is there any voices I should do before we close out? Oh,
um,
Bob. Oh, Winnie the Pooh. Oh, I just love. Oh, like my Christopher Robbins. Oh, oh,
Winnie the
Tigger.
Pooh, yes,
So I just want to say I've had an excellent and amazing time. Thank you so much for having me.
you are so welcome. We will be back Thursday, Fashion Dolls. And joining me Thursday, we have Tony Jones. But I'm going to leave you guys with some encouraging words of the day for the final thought. And that is from Viola Davis. She says, I don't have any time to stay up all night worrying about what someone who doesn't love me has to say about me. And this is my thing right here. Stay
That's
true
beautiful.
to who you are and don't focus on the people who are speaking against you. For me, it's about having 2020 vision, laser focus, staying focused on the prize, keeping your eyes on the prize and going on the right destination. Mick says, keep going. Mark says, Shaggy D, and J Evans is
I think
laughing.
Mark wants me to do my Shaggy and Scooby impression before I
Yes.
leave. Like, hey, Scoob. Look, it's Miss Stevie. Oh, Miss Stevie. Groovy. I love you, Mark.
And yes, Mick says, keep going and never give up.
Thank you, Mickey. Thank you, Stevie, Mark, everybody that's out there, Ellen. You guys mean the world to me. And if there's anything I can ever do to help out, to do anything, please let me know.
And we surely appreciate you. Where can everyone follow you? J Evans said you nailed it, and Mark says you love
I'm
you.
on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, StephenHam.1 at Instagram, SteveHam10, I think, at TikTok. Um, but yeah, feel free to leave comments. Anything you want to talk about, I always text back. So
there you have it, fashion dolls. And I love you all. I had such a great time today. And are there any final words that you would like to leave, Stephen? Because we love you so much, and your artistry is just fantastic.
There, there's a couple. There's probably one or two I like to leave. Is you never want to go to bed angry. You always want to find calm and peace and serenity before you finally lay down for the evening, and then leave the stress behind. That was yesterday.
Yes,
Tomorrow is a brand new day, and it has a whole bunch of opportunities. So don't regret things in the future. That just leave them in the past and just move forward.
absolutely.
Motto is actually that right there. Create something every day. Let life be imperfect. Be kind. Use your imagination. Have a grateful heart. Be yourself, but above all, dream big.
Absolutely. Again, it goes back to what I was saying about living life through fire. It is
Absolutely.
never You are never too old to follow your dreams and follow your passion.
If you
Keep
notice,
going.
my calendar is it's a positive, uplifting calendar. So every month it gives me stop wishing, start doing. So I have an inspirational calendar that I look at every month, and it gives me uh, just words of wisdom to live by.
Yes. And that's what we need. I know I got my vision board, and what I did was I took a note from one of the actors that I've interviewed on the show, Rico King, who's been on the show. Um, he has a board and it's like sticky notes, and he puts little mantras on the sticky notes and
Absolutely.
put them on the board. So that's genius. And I've started doing that. So I took a page from out of his book and I started doing it with little quotes and affirmations that keep me going through the day as well too. So
One of my
it's
friends
imperative.
actually, one of my friends, Sean Kanan from Karate Kid or Cobra Kai. I don't know if you know who Sean Kanan is, but he has been a, a really influence in my life too, because he's the one that keeps giving me positive influence too. So he's teaching me how to just let go of the past and focus on the future. Hey kiddo, I love you. My son's on.
Look at there.
Joshua. Joshua
Hi.
Ham. Everybody say hi to Josh.
Look at that.
Josh is so talented, and he is just so amazing.
How does that feel? Your son is watching you right now.
I think it's amazing because my son is way more talented than I'll ever be, and I'm just so proud of him. He's just in Del. I mean, he just gets himself involved in so many things, and he just knocks things out like it's not a challenge, but it's more of something to learn from.
They've got
Josh,
the talent from you because you have it, obviously, so it's been passed on down to them.
he's got the looks, he's got the talent. That my son, I think he can go however far he puts his mind to.
Look
I
at
couldn't
that.
be more prouder.
Mm.
I love you, kiddo.
All right. Fashion dolls. Um, he wants to know, what have you been up to?
I have been. What have I been up to? I have been thinking about you guys every single day, and you guys are my inspiration to go and push forward every single day. One for you, I wouldn't be the man I am today. That's what I've been up to.
Look at that. See? Mm. Before we go, fashion dolls, Stephen, are there any words of encouragement that you would like to leave to your son, to the viewers that are watching this amazing combo?
I think just never give up, always dream big, and always reach for the stars. Always. Never stop reaching for the stars. We're on this earth for a short while, and I think it's imperative that we just keep reaching. No matter how far it is, I think we can do anything we put our minds to.
And to anybody saying, oh, well, I'm too old to do this, you're never too old to follow your dreams. You're never too old to imagine. And again, live life through fire. Life is too short. And Mark says that you are a star, Mark.
Mark's a star. I look up to him. I'm following his footsteps because he's already making making waves in just the entertainment industry with so many talents he has, and I'm blown away. And I love you guys because you are so amazing, and I'm trying to learn from everybody.
And we're here to uplift and encourage each other and keep each other motivated. Like you said, Keep going.
Well, Kevin Conroy, yeah, Josh, you know you're my inspiration, kiddo. I love you. You're so amazing.
All right, fashion dolls. Do we have any last minute questions or anything for Stephen before we wrap up? This is such a great chat, and I had such a great time.
I didn't expect my son to join. I think that's just amazing. I'm so glad that he joined. That was a surprise in all on itself.
We didn't plan it. It shocked me too. We didn't have a plan.
There's a plan for everything, and I think everything happens for a reason.
Yes, yes. And it's on divine timing. So I'm a firm believer of divine timing. What you put out in the universe, if you put out good things in the universe, they'll come back to you full circle.
Absolutely, I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
Miss Stevie, thank you so much. I can't thank you enough.
You are so welcome, and I would love to have you back on again in the
I
future
would
so that
love
we can.
to come back and just.
Yeah.
I told Mark, I was like, we need to have a show and we need to co-host.
All right. Definitely let me know. We're gonna set something up for the spring.
That would be
And Mick
awesome.
says, wonderful show. Thank you, Mick. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys Thursday so you guys can catch this replay up. And be sure to follow Stephen and check out Original Magazine UK. And special thanks to everyone. Thank you guys so for coming in and joining me. It feels great to be back, and I'll be back Thursday, you guys. So stay tuned. Take care, everyone.
Take care, guys. Thank you again.
You too.
Have a great evening.